What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up, hanging out, listening to my dumb ass. Like and subscribe. Ay. So the aftermath, the fallout, everything is still happening. Every time I think of Marathon, Concord pops in. It's the Sony curse. I don't know what to tell you. But I did listen to FPS, Friends Per Second. Was that? Yeah, it's with Lucy James and Jake Balladino and Ralph from Skill Up and special guest Tamar Hussein. Tamar, him, the British Indian guy. I think he's Indian, Pakistan. I actually don't know where he's from, but he's from Albion. He's from Albion. Anyway, they went in. And when I say in, I don't mean, they went in hard to diss it. No. They had a nice, long, civil conversation about Marathon. I'm going to try to find the link to it and put it in the description so y'all can check it out too. I'm glad I listened to it because Skill Up is very critical and he don't play. He just be like, broop, bleep, broop. That's what it is. And 50% of the time, I disagree with him. But then the other, I'm like, okay, because he's harsh. He's harsh when there needs to be harshness and stuff. He doesn't do any softballness. He's Australian. You know how they do. They spiders is like this big. He ain't got time to play. So, yeah, they went through that game. So the nice things they said about it were. Ralph, at least Skill Up, he was like, I had fun playing it. The shooting is great and stuff. And then, who said it? I think it was Lucy said it. Oh, what did she say? She said, there's something missing from something that's missing. I forgot what she said exactly, but it sounded kind of perfect because basically, what they like, the gist of how some of them felt, at least, is that there are pieces of shooters, familiar shooters within this game Marathon, but it lacks the central coalescent force to link all of the different pieces together cohesively. And I was thinking about it, I was like, yeah, I mean, look, I don't play extraction shooters. I've played them before. I said in the last video, I played the Division, the New York one, Division, the first one, the Dark Zone, that was what it's called. I played that. I was like, okay, I get it. But I'm done because the Division had its own issues besides, the extraction part of it. It was bullet sponge, Orama. I never played Tarkov. I never played The Hunt. I never played any of those other games. The Division was the only one I did play. Did I play? No, yeah, the Division I played. Anyway, so they're talking about these games. I mean, they're talking about Marathon per se, and it's just they can't. They're saying, it's in an early state, and the art style is different. Some people say it's cool, blah, blah, blah. And like I said in the last video, art style can be cool, but if the game is trash, the art style is not going to make the game good, period. That's just take it from a former graphic whore. Remember, I told you the story. It's not going to happen. So I listened to them. Once again, I'm going to put the link in the description. You guys check them out. Listen to it for yourself. Get your own, feeling from. And they had some very valid points. And it's kind of consensus between like all of the rhetoric that I'm hearing. They kind of they didn't whittle it down, but they got to it, pinpoint accuracy. And so I listened to them, and then I listened to this other guy. It was the first time I saw this guy's video, and look, it's about 47 minutes, and it was very monotone. It was very just like Bueller, like that, seriously. But what he was saying, because I listened to him because he said that he was a Marathon fan, the original Marathon. So I was like, Now that's what I need. I need to hear what the original people, the original fans of the original marathon, however many there still are, have to say about this new marathon. And he opened my eyes a little bit. I gained some insight basically because he was saying that this new marathon doesn't really have anything to do with the original marathon, only in name. And it's like art style, of course. The art style is different. You know, that may turn people off or turn whatever. There are no aliens. I mean, there were aliens in the first marathon. Listen, if y'all don't know, the original marathon was a precursor to Halo. They took what marathon was and expanded on it and made Halo. That's why if you look at the aliens in marathon and you look at the aliens in Halo, you can see the evolution. You can see how it went from marathon to Halo. And that's what it was. That's Bungie. That was early Bungie. And so he went in for 47 minutes and change. And he was like, he kept, the main point was nothing of this game is of the original game except for the name. It's like it's the ship. We don't know what the ship's gonna look like. The story was the original marathon. I didn't know this. So the story was whatever the planet is called, or the thing, the city or whatever, was attacked and destroyed by aliens. And that's why you're shooting aliens in the original marathon, because you're like, yo, you killed all my peoples, right? And so that's not what it is in this new one. This new one is like the corporation has all of these clone people that if they die, they just make another one. It's just 3D print another one, and it has memories of. I'm just speculating based off of the stuff that I've seen. I've seen it all, but I'm like, how does it mean it's going to be better or worse? I mean, I guess the kind of I don't know. See, because if the original one was alien invasion, wipe out the city or the planet or whatever, you go down there and wipe out the aliens. Simple. But it's a run and gun, so that's why they call it marathon. I don't know why they call it marathon. But now you're runners and you going down to scavenge because everybody did, and so the corporation want to try to recoup as much as they can from their settlement. I don't know. And so and now it's like, who's the bad guy? Is the corporation the bad guy? Are you the bad guy because you're working for the corporation? I have no idea. And the one thing, going back to frames per second, they were saying that about like Jake. Okay, so the way the podcast was kind of formatted, it was them in the beginning talking about, we had an interview. Here's the interview. So they played the interview. I guess it was like 20 minutes or half an hour, whatever. And then they came back and then they discussed. So the main thing, Jake came first, and he came with the question about, I think it was about the lore and the story within Marathon. What will it be? How will it be kind of presented, dished out? Weekly, monthly, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And what they said was, we have a framework of a framework. We don't have a story yet, but we kind of have a framework of how we're gonna deliver the story, basically. I'm like, so y'all don't have a story? Okay, this game is coming out in September 23rd, and you don't have a story. You're saying that you have an idea of how you're going to give us the story, but you don't have a story. I mean, maybe they have a separate studio working on cutscene. If they're gonna be cuts, I don't even want to think about it. I'm getting a headache just thinking about it. I had no intentions of playing this game anyway, because once again, extraction shooter, no thank you. I'll go finish Halo Infinite. I never finished Halo Infinite. You know what sucks about Halo Infinite? For me, I was at this, I forgot, what's it called, the Gauntlet? I forgot. You're in this big giant like inside arena thing, and there's like just the warthog here and the tower here and all this stuff, and there's just waves come from like all different corners, and you got to stay in there for like 20, 30, half an hour killing these fools, right? I did that. And then I got to the part where you're in this like 2-story thing, and that one elite keeps disappearing, and he's got like the cloak, and he's cloaking, and he kept killing me. I was like, man, I can't kill this guy. And so I hadn't played it in so long, I think I uninstalled it, and then I reinstalled it, and I went back, and it put me back to the beginning of the gauntlet thing. And I was like, man, I don't want to do this. And then I got to kill the elite dude, which I haven't done yet, because for some reason I can't get by him. So I'm going to try to do that eventually. I need to finish Halo Infinite, even though everybody's saying, oh, it's lackluster or whatever. I still need to finish it. But anyway, Marathon. So they're saying that, they don't have a story, but they have an idea of how they're going to dish it out. Dude, listen, it seems like they're repeating the same thing they did with Destiny, the first Destiny. When they started Destiny again, oh, the wizard and the moon and the traveler, and you're like, oh, mysteries. Who's the wizard? What, why? What's the traveler? Who, how? You have some questions. This one is like, colors? Who? Huh? I have no idea. The only thing it has going for it is the art style, and that's subjective. I've heard a lot of people say this game's not gonna fail as bad as Concord, which is a pretty hard feat. But I don't see how it's going to succeed better than, I would say, better than Helldivers 2. I don't think so. I don't care how good your shooting is. If people don't want to do another round, it doesn't really. Come on, Sony. Just because I'm talking about your poopy game, you don't got to fly over my. Every time I start talking shite about Sony, they flying helicopters over, try to distract. So, I don't have any confidence in Bungie. Once again, I said this before. Bungie is not the same Bungie. This is not the same Bungie. I just looked at it. I didn't look it up yesterday. For some reason, it popped in front of me. I think it was just looking on Twitter or whatever. And they were talking about how all the people that left and got fired from Bungie within the shakeup of Sony pretty much taking over Bungie. And Luke Smith got fired. If y'all don't know Luke Smith used to be a podcaster. I think he was on the One Up Show. I can't remember. But he, super Halo fan. I love Halo. I love Bungie. Halo, Bungie. Every day you talk about Halo and Bungie and Halo. He was a stan. And his dream job, he got to work for Bungie. He got hired by Bungie because he was such a stan and such a fan. And now he got fired. I don't know how when you're such a fan of something and you get fired from that, like, where do you go? Because he wasn't a game maker before that. So is he going to start his own, like, go to another studio and start, what's he going to do? Also, was he part of the problem? Because I just learned this, okay? Marathon, when it first came out, was so bad. It was buggy. The game itself, whatever. But it was so buggy that it was deleting people's, I think it was their hard drives, or it was doing something crazy. And it almost ruined Bungie, right? And so that's why they did the deal with Microsoft, to bail them out. Sound familiar? I didn't realize this. I'm like, oh, so Microsoft bailed them out. They did Halo, Halo 2, Halo 3, ODST, Reach, and then I think Microsoft was like, I don't think we should work with these guys anymore. And then Bungie's like, we want to be independent. And like, all right, peace out, homies. Don't hit the door. The door hits you with the split you. Peace, right? And so Microsoft was happy to be rid of Bungie. And you realize Bungie is like, oh yeah, they made Halo, right? It's like, okay, sure. But something about how they work, how they make games is not cool, because Activision had them and they let them go. Why? Sony got them now, and they seeing what's going on. Microsoft had a chance to get them back. They just like, nah, we good. Nah, we ain't falling for the banana in the tailpipe again. No, sir. And I'm like, why? Huh? And when I heard the story about Marathon, Bungie, and then Microsoft came and swoop in to save them, I was like, oh, I get it. So Bungie has been a poisoned studio since forever. And like nobody talk about this. Nobody mentioned. No. They just say, "Oh, Halo's good." All just the positive stuff. Like not about the negative or the bad or the bad habits or the bad work. I guess work culture. Not saying like they abuse their employees or anything, but I'm just saying you look at a studio like Respawn. Or Forza Playground Games, and they are putting out high quality games at half the time of most of these studios. AAA games half the time, and they're top tier, best in class. So why is Bungie have over 1,000 people? They can't do this. He asked them, how many people you got working on Marathon, blah blah blah. It's like, 300 or so, something, 300? Over 300, something like that. I was like, okay. How long you been working on? Oh, 4 years. Okay. So, like what, how, why is, this, not even half a game? Four maps? 6, I mean, it's 3 maps, and then they'll have an additional map, and 6 heroes. Really? For 4 years took you to? And they're like, oh yeah, well, we had to start, we had to do things, we changed direction, da da da. And I'm like, that's fine. That's game development. I'm not going to ding them for that. But 4 years with 300 people working on the game, and this is all you got. Nah, B, nah, nope. That's mismanagement. How much money is 4 years with 300 people? How much does a game dev work make? They make more than me. They make over six figures easy, right? I will say that, yes. So let's just say even 100,000 times 300. Is that 3 million? I don't even know. Sounds like 3 million. Anyway, let's just say it's 3 million. That's not times 4. That's 12 million just in salary. That's not right. That can't be. It has to be more than that. I don't even feel like doing the math. But tell them not that good at math. But I'm like, yo. First. I mean, you thought, like, people got on Halo Infinite for all its bare bones and blah, blah, blah. At least it was a complete game. You could start, finish the game. And the multiplayer was pretty dope. Halo Infinite is more feature-filled than Marathon is at launch. I want to hear all these ponies and donkey unicorns talking shite about how bare bones and whack Marathon is because blah, blah, blah. Only 4 maps. Only 6 heroes. I better hear some stuff if they even gonna play it. They probably won't play it because they gotta pay $40 at least. I think they're trying to get more. I think they're trying to make it 50. I'm gonna be real. I think $49.99 sounds just about right to me. I mean, I'm trying to put myself into the mind space of a Sony executive trying to get that money. I mean, they just raised prices, so why wouldn't they charge more than what they were charging for a premium product that's not full price? What does that mean? It's not even half a game, and you're not gonna charge half a price because that would be $35. Charge $30? I'd be like, all right, $30, $29.99, maybe. But the only hope that Bungie has for Marathon is their name Bungie on top of the Marathon connected to it. That's the only thing that they have, because I was about to say lukewarm has been the reception. I think it's worse than that. I think what's happening to, there is no zeitgeist. Let's just be real. Only in the form of that everybody's talking about it and they're not talking about it positively. And some people say, oh, any talk about our game is good because that means people talking about it. It's in the zeitgeist technically. But if you're in the zeitgeist for the wrong reasons, then that's bad. If it's all negative or mostly negative, it's bad. If people don't have confidence in your product, it's bad. And you're charging, it's bad. I'm sorry, I got to go. I had to do another marathon video because, like I said, frames per second. They duck this one. It's a very good watch. So if you got it, I think it's about an hour maybe, because it has the interview in between. Go check it out. But let me know in the comments below what you think about what you saw from all of the footage and all the rhetoric and all that stuff. Let me know what y'all think about the direction of Marathon. I swear Concord keeps popping in my head. The direction of Concord 2. Are you gonna play it? If it's $40, are you gonna play it? If it's $30, are you gonna play it? Do you think that the reception will be so poor and they're gonna have so much like low player count that they're gonna make it free to play like they did Destiny 2 at some point? I think it was 4 months in they switched it to free to play because nobody was playing it. Let me know. And I appreciate, and I'll check y'all on the next one too. Wait.